Thank you so much for tuning in to this video today. Pastor Joe has taught me one of many things, and that is the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Pastor Joe has spent so much time building up this beautiful backyard, and he spends a lot of time building up people as well. And I know that people contact him and they text him and they say, "Hey, Pastor Joe, can I talk to you?" And that usually means they need advice on one of many things, whether it be financial advice or relational advice, spiritual growth, any and everything that you can think of. I know that Pastor Joe can help you. So if you need someone to talk to, feel free to reach out. I'm going to leave the information at the end of this little short introduction. And thank you again for being here and watching this video today. I hope it blesses you.
Hey guys, welcome to Joe Knows once again. We've been talking about education, higher education, preparation for earning a living, and becoming the kind of person that someone's willing to actually pay you to do something, and the better you are at that thing, the more they're going to pay you. So when it comes to making a living, being successful financially, you've got to learn something. You got to be able to do something. And I want to talk to you about a principle. A lot of times people, they get into things and they try something for a year or two, and then they move to something else for a year or two, and then something else. And sometimes even the fields are unrelated. It's not really a good way to get ahead and to learn a craft. When it comes to learning a craft, what you want to do is spend as much time in that craft as you possibly can. So you want to make sure as you begin to choose the career you're going to be in, that it's something that you enjoy, and you want to get great at it. Now, there as a writer recently, in the last 5 or 8 years or so, he wrote a book talking about how it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. So a lot of times we don't become an expert at things. We don't get really good at things. We don't get to a place that someone's willing to pay us a lot to do something, because we don't hang in there long enough to actually become good at it. So whether you're selling cars, doing landscaping, working in the stock market, doing accounting, whatever it is that you do, if you stick with it, it's gonna slow down and you're gonna get better and better at it. Let me tell you what I mean by slow down. Every time a football player, say a quarterback, when they're in high school, they can master the game at the high school level. They move to college, the game's a lot faster. Why? Because there are better athletes that are playing at that level. But after a while, they get adjusted to the better athletes, and the game slows down, and now they're able to see and do great things. Then they get to the NFL, and it's a whole new game, because the game speeds up even more. The athletes are even better. It's the most elite athletes that have ever lived in that football genre. And for a quarterback, they get in the first year, 2, even 3 years, the game is so fast. But as they stick with it, the game slows down. They're able to use their skills, their abilities, and they're able to compete at a very, very high level. Well, the same goes with anything that you do. So like for me, I've been doing ministry for many, many years, and the aspect of ministry that I've mostly done is helping people, working with people. I think I've had the question asked of me probably 100,000 times, "Joe, can I talk to you?" And people come to me for advice. That's why I do this vlog called Joe Knows, because people get the idea that I know things, and I've learned how to take the information that I know and pass it on to people. I've learned how to study people, and when it comes to coaching and counseling people, I've gotten really good at it because I've done it for way more than 10,000 hours. And it's something now that I can do effortlessly, do it at a high level. There's another thing I love to do, and it's landscaping. You'll be seeing more of my yard in the spring as things warm up, but I've done it for so long, and it becomes second nature. I get really good at it. Now here's what I want you to do. Especially if you're young, I want you to pick a field that you enjoy and try to get as much exposure in that field as possible. My son got involved in music at a young age, and I remember Jojo telling me he was driving cars back and forth to an auction. And I said, "Jojo, if you're really going to make a living in music, if you're going to really get good at it, everything you have to do has to be part of the music industry." And that's what he did, and he's doing that now. If it's in the business world, you can be in lots of different businesses, but there are things in business. If that's something that you love and enjoy doing, then master the art of understanding business. If it's sales, okay? You can make a lot of money in sales, but when you master the art of sales and then maybe find a really good product to sell and you master that product, my gosh, you're going to put yourself in a place that people are going to be willing to pay you lots of money, or even better yet, you're not going to need to get paid by people because you're going to be able to have your own business where you're doing things that you've gotten really good at because you've practiced it and you've done it. So I want to encourage you, don't spread yourself so thin. Don't do so many different things. Don't become a jack of all trades that you're a master of none. Hone in on one area or even two areas and then whittle it down to one and work really hard to get really good at that craft, and you will see that you will become very successful, very proficient. Even you might become an expert in that particular field. Now, if it's quarterback, you're going to make a lot of money and then you can retire. But if it's like most of us, you're going to do something where you're constantly in it, you're going to find that you do that well and you're going to get paid a whole lot because of the quality of what your work is. God bless you. I hope this helps.